This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
So we have called the meeting to order. There are no minutes to approve. We will do that at the next meeting. We just had a great introduction from our new member, Dave DeVecchio. Public speak, I'm not seeing anyone out there who's looking to join the meeting. So let's talk a little bit about planning department changes. So we have been for some time now, as you know, and Dave might know, without a city planner. Jeff Bagg did move on to bigger and better things. Good opportunity for him. Sorry to see him go. I have been fortunate enough to be on the interview committee for the new planner. I'll tell you what I think I can tell you, which is we've had about 9 interviews over the summer, and we now have what we believe to be a strong candidate to put forward to the mayor. And our job was simply to call that number down to a reasonable number and then pass those folks on to the mayor, and the mayor and Emily, director of personnel, director Emily, and the mayor will make that final decision. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll know if we have a new city planner. So one of the things, Dave, that we've always been fortunate enough is to have the city planner attend our meetings occasionally and basically keep us up to speed. Anything we could do to help projects. Several of us have been to meetings before to support projects that were going on in Easthampton that needed support because there might have been folks who didn't want to support it. So without a planner, we've kind of been lost as to where we are with different projects in the city. But I did hear from the chair of the planning board yesterday that it has been extremely quiet for the planning department. In fact, they have not met for at least a couple of months just because there's nothing on the agenda and they're not meeting for the sake of meeting. So that's actually a good thing right now, after the whirlwind of projects that are on the table right now in the city, mostly all to do with housing. The other thing that we always talk about is new member possibilities. We are by charter a 9-member committee. For the past period of time, we've had 5. So we're trying to get that number up so that we don't have to bring someone in on life support just to have a meeting. I am running the meetings right now, Dave. I'm acting chair. The real chairperson in disguise is Gwen, and she took a year off, and she will be back. I'm counting on January to be back to being chair of this illustrious body. So one of the things that's been going on in the city is the climate action plan, and I believe that has been completed, at least a draft. And I believe done. Okay. And I think before Cassie rode off into the sunset, the conservation agent, I believe she did send that out to a wide audience. And EDIC does have a role in that climate action plan. And Cassie's going to sort of give us some background and update of what's kind of expected of us in there.
Ready?
Take it away, Cassie.
Oh, can you let me share my screen?
Sure, Gwen. I don't know how to do that.
Give me a second. Let me see if I can help with that. I believe that I go here and I do the thing where I make you a co-host. You should be able to now, Cassie.
Okay. Let me present now. I kind of have to talk myself through these things. I'm sorry. Share. Are you seeing it's working?
Yes, ma'am.
There you go.
So there are a whole bunch of things on the climate action plan, and they carved some out for businesses. And they actually aren't very heavy lifts in some ways. One of the things we got dinged on, you can see here under supporting partners, there we are, is an education campaign to support decarbonization. And a thought I had is that there are a lot of grant opportunities out there, a lot, and funding sources and tax benefits. And I thought it just might be kind of swell if EDIC pulled together an information packages for businesses, let them know that we have it, and mail it out. It's kind of a low cost kind of thing. And I'm sure other people have even better ideas, but that seemed like a good thing to do to get all the information in one place.
Now, Cassie, you're saying to send out what to those businesses?
All the promotional materials for all the grants and stuff like that. We could do it under our letterhead, which we don't really have, but I could make. So that's one thing, but this is the thing I'm kind of hot on. How, you know, like how a health plan or a hospital gets JACO accredited, and then they have that little JACO logo that they can put everywhere they want, like on their stationery, on their website. What if we had a accreditation type plan for being a climate action plan partner? And we got kind of a sexy logo that businesses could use on their stationery. We could have a sticker produced that they could put in their windows and make it a real kind of easy lift. Like, it wouldn't have to be that you put solar panels on your building. It could be as simple as, well, heat pumps are always desired, but no more plastic. You know, we could brainstorm the list of criteria, but I was just wondering what people might think about sponsoring something like that.
Thoughts?
I'm for it, Cassie. It's like our bag.
What was that, Gwen? Sorry, I didn't hear that.
I'm for it, Cassie. I think that's our bag.
Yep. Dave?
Is this, since I'm new, is this document something that can be circulated? I have not seen the full report up to this point. I'd love to take a look at the whole thing.
Oh, okay, definitely. I will make sure you guys all get it.
Cassie, I want to give you and all of you really, I've got a different email address for Dave than when I sent out the original agenda. So if I can give you this email for Dave, it's DAVE, Dave, DELV @yahoo.com. That would be the appropriate email address for sending anything to Dave.
Dave Delda. Oh,
Dave Delve
Delva.
@yahoo.com.
Yep, first four in the last name. There you go.
Got it. Got it.
So Cassie, you were something came up and is blocking your, unless it's me. Sorry, I might have.
What's being blocked?
That was, so you're talking about creating a program where a business would be, would go through certain criteria to be labeled as a climate action plan supporter, if you will.
Yeah. There's really nothing in it for them except that they could use it for marketing.
Yep.
And in general, you know, maybe it's just me, but I think people are becoming more sensitive to that.
So I was going to say who, but I think it was going to come out you. Who has the ability to put some meat on that bone?
If people think it's a worthwhile endeavor, I am willing to do it. But if people think it's stupid, I really have other things to do.
What's the time frame of this action plan for the city? Like, do they have a timetable in terms of the initiatives that they're doing as part of this program?
Carbon neutral by 2030.
Okay.
The climate action plan is actually pretty interesting in that it shows where in the city the carbon is, for lack of a better expression. It's in heating businesses, it's in heating homes. That's where it is.
So I'll chime in. I don't think it's, in your words, Cassie, I don't think it's stupid. I think if I were a business, I wouldn't mind having that decal on my door that said, I'm doing what I can to support the climate action plan. But the only way we can tell about how it will be received is to throw it out there.
Do we have any support from the chamber anymore?
I'm here.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dave's,
I'm still an active board member, so I mean, I'm happy to take a request or ideas to the chamber to maybe collaborate a little bit. There might be some education campaigns that the chamber can help spread the word, but that's where I need to find out what that word is. That's why I want to look at the full document.
okay, definitely.
and I think, Cassie, if you can put some meat on the bones, that might help Dave present what we might be looking for from the businesses to qualify as a climate action plan partner.
I don't want to get fancy, but maybe climate plan partners could have multiple stars, like a 4-star business would have solar panels and heat pumps and would recycle their food waste to pig farms, or it's just somebody that's just gotten rid of plastic bags. They can have a star too, because it's about success, not really. It's the little steps.
Yeah, I don't think you have to get fancy with it. I think you could just put some bullet points together to start out with to give Dave an opportunity to run that up the flagpole at chamber.
That's great.
Yeah, I would say, Cassie, if you put your thoughts together, but one potential avenue could be to create a simple, like, little 3-step ask, and maybe it's a matter of read the document from the city, something else, and then maybe articulate one particular change you're going to take to your business operations towards this goal, and by doing these 3 things and self-attestation, then you can be named a Easthampton climate partner or something, and we can and then give them, like you said, a window sticker or something that they can designate as someone who is helping to support the cause, which will actually double as an awareness campaign to further reinforce the whole initiative.
Yeah,
both B2B and B2C. If a restaurant puts it in their window and people ask a question about it, well, now it just helps spread the word what it's all about.
Good point. Okay, I'll come back next month. Great.
Gwen, I thought you looked like you were ready to say something, Gwen.
Probably not that worthwhile. I'm just being the enthusiast who wants Cassie to know that nothing she's ever offered is stupid, and these ideas are well-founded. And I think that pushing into them, given that we have a relative, I guess 2030 isn't 10 years away anymore, is it? But still, we have a longer trajectory that we can work with, and so we have room to be deliberate. And so starting out small and then building up some input from others is a great idea. So we don't have to have a fully wrapped up plan by October.
Yeah, I'm glad you
just be a straw dog.
I'm glad you brought that up, Cassie. It does seem that carbon neutral by 2030 is a real short window.
Let me double check. Where's this? I think that's, why are you doing that? Oh, I don't know how to do this anymore. I'll double check the year.
I mean, if you had said 2050, I might have bought into that quicker, but 6 years away seems like a short window to be carbon neutral. But
I
check
will,
into it.
definitely.
Okay. Anything else on climate action?
That's it for me
Okay.
today.
Okay.
And I'm not sure that we have any updates on the vacant storefront ordinance, but Dave, just as a backdrop, one of our big accomplishments last year was instituting the vacant storefront procedure, if you will, where we're trying to register and fee, if you will, vacant storefronts that are making no effort whatsoever to try to do something. I mean, obviously, if a business owner has a for rent sign up, has a realtor involved and is showing the property, that's no problem. But it's the ones that have sit idle for years and years and years that we're trying to incentivize them to do something with the property as opposed to leaving it vacant.
Yep, excellent. We could all name them by name.
Yeah.
They're very familiar to the community. And I know as a person who's taken part in a couple of the different city initiatives where there've been some strategic planning meetings, I facilitated one of the tables at one of them a few years ago. I mean, that issue had come up repeatedly. So nice to know that there's forward traction being made in that direction to help leverage our resources more fully.
Yeah, hopefully it'll have an impact going forward. But you're right, we did concentrate on a couple of well-known, but we could not single them out, so we had to get an ordinance passed that covered all of them. Cassie did a lot of work on that, and I think then the city council took it from there and ran with it. So it's a good thing for the city. I have nothing else. Is there anything else
I just have a
other
quick
member
question
would
as
like?
it relates to the EIC,
Butcher.
but does anyone have any insight regarding why the lack of interest in the massage school building?
The which?
I've seen the massage school building, the corner on the roundabout. I think the low bid or the minimum bid was 400,000, and it got no bidders whatsoever.
So a couple of things, Dave, just from some historical institutional knowledge. I don't know we still don't know, because there wasn't a bidder, if 400 would have taken it or not, or if that was simply the entry bid and there was a reserve behind the scenes. I was under the impression that if there's a reserve at an auction, it should be disclosed up front. So I was not there, so I don't know if that was or not. But the fact that no one bid, if someone had bid 400, we're still not certain if 400 would have taken it or not. I do know
from what it was reported, there was no bid whatsoever.
Correct. What I was getting at was that we don't know if someone had bid 400, would that have
gotcha.
would it have escalated from there? Would it have stopped? And would the auctioneer have let it go for 400? I don't know the answer to that question. The other thing that I'm not sure anyone's been able to answer yet, or anyone has dug into it deep enough, but as you know, when the building first sold, there was a restriction that the building had to remain. It could not be demolished. And that really shrunk the interested parties out of the gate. When that first was purchased by the massage school. There are some schools of thought that restriction goes away with subsequent sales, meaning if you and I wanted to buy that building, we could demolish it. Excuse me. No one's been able to really confirm that. I don't know that anyone's dug deep enough to find out if that is in fact true, or if there's still a restriction on retaining the building. But I believe there would be a lot more interest if it was widely known that the building could be removed, because I personally think a lot more could be done with that site if that building weren't there. And I know back X number of years ago, the Historical Commission made a hard play to retain the building and convince the city council at the time to keep the building. If I showed you pictures of what that building originally looked like, it looks nothing like that today. It's been added on to, changed. It does not look like the historical building that it was when it was first built as Easthampton High School. That was its original
I
use.
didn't know that. That's cool.
It was the first Easthampton High School. So anyway, that's all I know, Dave, about it. I did read in the article that someone did approach the auctioneer after he closed it to say that they didn't know that the bidding was going to start that high, and they didn't have a big enough check with them for the deposit. So they wanted to speak to the owner directly, which they could.
Right.
So there could be something going on behind the scenes. But yeah, hopefully something happens with that property in the near future.
All right.
I did hear through a grapevine the other day that there might be some activity going on with the D&D building. But nothing I can
You can
confirm
only
at
hope.
this point.
All right. Just a word, my phone is about to die, so
We're about to adjourn, Dave, I think so.
sounds good. All right.
Anything else anyone wants to bring up? Our next meeting is scheduled for October 15th. Maybe by then we have a new planner, and I can meet even with Dylan, the associate planner, to try to find out what's on the horizon for planning. And I'll be over this cold. Good. I have a motion to adjourn.
I'll move.
Ooh, neck and neck, Cassie. I second Cassie's motion.
Thank you very much. Any further discussion? All in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
Hi.
Thank you very
Aye.
much.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.